and I want to talk about how hypocritical I myself and people in general can be. Now, this isn't going to go super deep about the intricacies. Hey Matt, blah, 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 blah. Welcome back on We Do Things Contrary to What We Say, which I believe I've covered in some way in the past. So what the heck am I talking about? Well, I started this year by creating a Twitter thread. From January 1st to midway through February, each day I would make an entry into the Twitter thread, noting down what I had listened to that day in terms of music, and failing music, what I had watched, but generally I tried to stick to music. It was originally something I was only going to carry on for January, but I just kept going because I just got invested in the process until the point where it got too much to carry on and I just kind of let it fizzle out. It was one of those things that I said I was happy to do the once, it was a great experience, but I'm not sure I'd do it again just because of the extra effort you have to put into making yourself listen to something or consume something just for the sake of noting it down. And yet fast forward to December and I'm doing the same thing to close out the year, and it's just like how I always say I'm sick of doing the same thing day in and day out, and it really annoys me if there's nothing new going on. And yet I still find myself going back to these old ways and doing things that I've done for years and consuming the same media because it's kind of nostalgic, it's familiarity. While truth be told, it's something that used to annoy me quite a lot. Now it doesn't so much, and it's just that I've given into the fact that I will keep going back to these things because it's something that I enjoy and I feel comfortable with and brings me some small amount of comfort in when times are hard or stressful. But I also come back to these things without really thinking about it. If I want to listen to a piece of music and I'm not sure what, I will just likely browse my computer and probably find the same thing that I've listened to 10 times that year already, and I will listen to it again. Like the Persona 5 soundtrack, or the Breath of Fire 4 soundtrack, or there's quite a few game OSTs to be honest, or musical artists like Biffy Clyro, or the Bare Naked Ladies, obviously. Okay, it's not the most philosophical subject or way of covering it that I've ever done in a video on this channel or any other channel I'm ever involved in, but it does show a bit of progress on my part. Self-improvement in that, as I've covered on this channel previously, I used to get really annoyed by such hypocritical actions, and yet now it's more improvement on my part that I've learned to accept that that's something that I'm going to do and what we do as a species, and as most people do on an individual level. I mean, I can't be the only one who's walked into a bathroom and seen an empty tube of toilet paper and said, that's just lazy, why aren't people throwing those away or recycling them when they're done? And then a few days later use the last of a roll and leave it because you're lazy or forgetful. And then coming back a few days later and saying, why has someone left? Oh, it was me. Wow, I'm such a hypocrite. And you know what? I'm okay with that. So my quick question for you this week, Matt, have you faced any situations in which you have found yourself being a bit hypocritical, but it not really affecting the long run because it's just something small and trivial? Have a nice day.